All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the drive-through. Little help here from my calc buddies. Thanks to Grant who got this set up and Brian and Will who jumped on. I couldn't help them with this live yesterday, but as it turns out, this is just a great question. I actually really enjoyed understanding this answer. So it's asking you to find the equations of the tangent lines through to this equation, y equals x cubed minus 10x, through the point 1, negative 10. And 1, negative 10 is like very close to this graph. Okay? So if you can imagine, there are, I think, going to be two lines. I don't know where this other one's going to be. Somewhere like this, that are going to be tangent to this curve, I think two. And that is going to be the equations of those lines, okay? And they want us to find the equations of those pink lines. Now, what do we need to know to find the equation of a line? We need a point and the slope. All right, this is the point 1 comma negative 10. All right, well, we have our point. And it's a little blurry, but you're just going to have to listen. This is going to be a lot of writing. So this is the point 1, negative 10. I basically need to find the slope of those tangent lines. Well, how do I find the slope of the tangent lines? I find the derivative. So y prime is 3x squared. Take the 3, multiply it, reduce the power by 1, minus 10. Same thing. Take the 1, multiply by 10, reduce the power, just the power constant rule. Okay, so this is the slope of the tangent lines at any point. That's the slope of the pink lines. And this is where I really like this problem. There's a little bit of differential equations in this question, but it's really just teaching you the power of substitution, okay? Do you remember this point slope formula? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, okay? Well, let's see. What do I know? I know a y and an x, and I know an m. If I do that, I think I might be able to find the other points that this thing is tangent to. Okay? Let's see. Let's see what we can find out. So I'm going to move over here. Y minus a negative 10, so that turns into a positive 10, equals m. I'll just keep it like this for now, times x minus 1. Now, look, this is what our y is. This is what our m is, which is going to give this entire equation in terms of x. Isn't that genius? So I'm going to take out the y and put x cubed minus 10x plus 10 equals, I'm going to put in our m, three x squared minus 10 times x minus, what's our x value? 1. Now, one thing that I did wrong on this the first time is I forgot our m is this whole thing, so we better put it in parentheses because we're going to have to FOIL it. Okay, so on this side I get x cubed minus 10x plus 10 equals, and I can tell you from doing a lot of math, this seems like a total pain in the butt, but it usually works itself out. Not always, but check out what's about ready to happen. First, 3x cubed, outside minus 3x squared, inside minus 10x, last plus 10. Aha, look. Those are gone. Those are gone. And now this isn't going to be so bad. Subtract x cubed from both sides. And you get 0 is 2x cubed minus 3x squared. Factor a little bit, however you like to do this. I usually factor out a 2x squared and then just leave myself with an x minus 3 halves. That's not how most books do it, but so that means x is 0 from that one, or 3 halves, okay? Now, if I go back so I can find this point and this point, so that's pretty cool. That means this is actually the point where it's tangent. That is almost exactly where I drew my picture. So if I put in a 0 for x, I get a 0 for y. And let me pause this real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 3 halves into my x and see what I get for y. Okay, so if I put in 3 halves, I get a negative. That's a 93 over 8. 93 over 8 for me. Your question is going to be a little different, okay? So now I need to find the equations of these pink lines. All right, well, I've got 2 different lines. So here, let me write this one. I'm going to write over it in like a light blue. That's going to be the one that's a pain. We're going to do that one second. The pink line is going to be much easier to find. Okay, so this pink line, let me get a new piece of paper. The pink line which again is the one that goes through 0, 0. Well, that slope, that had these points, 0, 0, comma, 1, comma, negative 10. You're just trying to find the equation of the line that goes through those points. Okay, well, what's m? M is negative 10 over 1. Okay, and we actually know our b is 0. So the equation of the pink line is y equals negative 10 plus, plus 0. Or you can write that as 10x plus 1y equals 0. I think that's how they prefer to write it. Okay, now this one's going to be significantly harder. Now we're going to find the equation of this blue line. Well, that blue line goes through the points 3 halves, comma, negative 93 over 8, and the point 1, comma, negative 10. Okay, so I'm going to figure out the slope, but I'm not going to do it on the clock here. I'm going to pause the video. You get m is negative 13 fourths. Okay, so then let's see. Y, how are we going to find our b? Let's go back to point slope. Which point are we going to use? I'm going to use that one. It's easier. Y minus a negative 10, y plus 10, is negative 13 fourths times x minus 1. Now, on my test, you could leave it like that because I didn't state what form I wanted you to graph the line in. But I think the calculus program wants you to write it in this weird form like this. Okay? Well, it's not a weird form. I shouldn't say that. A form you're not used to writing it in. Y plus 10 is negative 13x over 4 plus 13 over 4. Multiply everything by 4, and you get 4y plus 40 equals negative 13x plus 13. So then you want 0 over here is how the book wants it. So you're going to end up with, let's see, 13x plus 4y plus 27 equals 0. And those are the answers to your questions. I just wrote on my, that's why I had a paper underneath there. I hope that helps.